evening. Melissa Johnson here with Melissa Loves to Talk. Today is August 8th, 2026. I am, back. I have not done this in probably a month. No, it's been a little over a month because I think it was around July 4th is the last time I did this. And I can say my excuse is I've been too busy, but that is not an excuse. I have not been motivated to do this. And I'm sorry because I am supposed to be doing this. This is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. So sorry that I have not been on here. If you were watching me regularly and I have not been on, I am sorry. I am going to work on doing better. I know the summer is very busy. I have been having lots of things to do. Friday nights we were doing things, and Saturday has been parties and baby showers and all kinds of things. And I am sorry, that's not really an excuse, but an excuse. So I am going to get back in the swings because we have a country to save. People are asleep or stupid or just think that we live in the country that can never be corrupted. I don't know. But if any of the midterm primaries has shown you anything, is we are in trouble if we don't wake up. People think they live in a red area and they don't have to get out and vote in primaries. Primaries are very, very important. Number one, they get out the rhinos. So if you live in a state where there are lots of rhinos, the primaries help get them out. If you're not voting and you think, well, it'll be a Republican and a Democrat in the general, and I'll just vote for the Republican, this is why we are where we are. We have a Senate and a House of Representatives that is nothing but rhinos, and we cannot get things passed because we all think it's okay. We have a Republican instead of a Democrat in there. And we are struggling in this country. And everybody wants to blame President Trump. He is not a dictator. He is not a king. He does not cause everything that's bad right now. He actually has very limited power. The Congress is actually the most powerful people in this country. And we do not realize that. I'm pretty sure the founding fathers had no idea that it would be like this. They just cared that the president wouldn't be a dictator, that he wouldn't be a king, because they knew how kings ran things. They thought, oh, we have 100 and some people, however many it was when they started, because it was not originally 531. Of course, because there was only 13 states, so there wasn't that many people. But as the country grew, we added more people to the Congress. And these 531 people are very, very powerful. And they make this country bad the way it is because they are bought off, they're threatened, or both. We have got to be voting. Now we are close to really, really losing our country. People do not realize that. Okay? I'm going to tell you, okay? I've told you before, I live on the line of Tennessee and Georgia. Okay? Okay, Tennessee had their primary on Thursday. anybody knows, Tennessee's supposed to be super, super red, right? You want to say it's deep red. Then how come seats got flipped to Democrats in the election on Thursday? Okay. In Tennessee, yes, it's the primaries for the governor, the Senate, and the House of Representatives, but they had a general election for the county. So everyone in the county that won the special election back in, I'm trying to remember when it was, May, I believe. There was a primary in May that was like the special election. I didn't know how Tennessee worked. Okay. I'm just learning how Tennessee works. I've been voting in Georgia since 2015. So I don't know how Tennessee works. But they had election in May, and that was like technically like their primary for their county. Okay. Whoever won that, the Republican and the Democrat, went to this election on Thursday with the primaries for the governor, the senators, and the House of Representatives for the United States. Okay. So these seats were like school board, the sheriff, Supreme Court judges. Okay. The Supreme Court judges are nonpartisan, and I honestly don't know how it worked. I don't know if the winners were Republican or Democrat. I don't know. I believe all the ones that were in there, they stayed seated. They kept their seats, so they didn't get voted out. But the school board seats flipped. So they were red seats, and now they're blue seats. So it was 3 in Hamilton County, and I believe 1 that I know of in Knox County, which is Knoxville. Okay. Hamilton County's Chattanooga. Okay. So this is bad for the school system. If you have children in Hamilton County School, I'm going to be honest, I would probably take my kids out of those schools because they're about to get really bad, because now there's at least 4 seats that are Democrat in Hamilton County. So we know how other states have done this. They, put all this woke stuff in there. If you don't know what's happening in Minnesota, they have a new baby doll, Barbie doll, whatever kind of doll it is. It's actually in the curriculum in elementary school. So like pre-K to 5th graders will have this Barbie doll, and you can remove their genitals, and says it gives them options to choose their gender. So just heads up, don't be surprised if this comes to Hamilton County in Tennessee, because if they're getting away with it in one county, in one city, one state in the country, they're going to implement it in any county, city, state. They can do it if they keep flipping these seats blue. And that's a lot of seats in a very red state. Like I said, that's 4 that I know of. I don't know if that happened in other counties. Like I said, where I am, Hamilton County is right where I am. And I only saw Knox County because I saw it on Facebook. So if we are not paying attention, I don't know what to tell people to make them pay attention. But the primary in Michigan, there's literally a Democratic socialist that is running for Senate. He won his primary. He's running against the Republican for a U.S. Senate seat. I'm pretty sure there's probably more that people don't know about, because if someone doesn't tell someone else, then we have no idea. People know about Michigan. There's probably other ones that we don't know about. If people don't understand what socialism is, it's not Switzerland. It's not Sweden. It's not Denmark. Okay. It's Cuba. It's Venezuela. It's China. It's North Korea. People pick the nice, I'm going to say, white countries and say, oh, this is socialism. But they want to be right, say we're racist. Never pick the actual socialist, communist countries where people live under communism. All you have to do is look what Mamdani is doing in New York City. Look at it. Do you want your whole country like New York City? It will happen if we keep letting these people win. You know how they're winning? People aren't getting out to vote. Yes, you can say they cheat, but they don't have to cheat if only 20 to 25% of voters are voting. They are winning because nobody's voting. The 20 to 25% of voters have been voting in these primaries. I get people think they're not important. They're very, very important. Every election, get out and vote for every election. They're all important because now everyone has been lazy or asleep or just assuming. And this is where we are. We're in the fight of our lives right now. Look up how people live in socialist, communist countries, not Denmark, not Sweden, because they don't actually have socialism. They have social programs like us, but they actually have capitalist economy like ours. That's why it runs the way it runs. So yes, they may have more government than we do, but they don't have a socialist economy. Their economy is capitalist, just like ours. I love how people hate communism, but they have an iPhone, they go to Starbucks, they have, video games, they have all these things. This is capitalism. This is stuff that we have because of capitalism. Look at when the people came here for the World Cup. Those people didn't even have air conditioning. They didn't even know, oh my goodness, I'm in a grocery store, I'm in Walmart, and there's air conditioning. They didn't even know what air conditioning was. They didn't even know what ranch was. And that was France. That was, Italy. Places that you would think are nice. Your nice socialist countries, right? They didn't even have air conditioning. If we don't get it together, we are going to be in trouble. Because this is what happens. No one is talking about this. I'm going to talk about it. Okay. We lose majority in the House and the Senate. This is what happens. They impeach Trump. They impeach JD. Guess who the president is? Whoever the Speaker of the House is. The Speaker of the House is going to be a Democratic socialist, probably. Because there's 3 of them in there right now. So it'll probably be one of them that's going to be the Speaker of the House. That person becomes the president. See, people don't talk about that. They don't talk about the worst case scenario. I'm sorry. I want to scare you because I want you to vote. Everybody wants to be sunshine and rainbows. And, oh, that'll never happen in the United States of America. We are literally one election away from a communist country. We can vote them in. We can't vote them out. I should have looked that video up, which I'll play it tomorrow. The video of their actual plan. There's the co-chair. She was on Fox. She literally said their plan, what their plan is. I had to update everything because I haven't been on in a while. So I didn't look up any videos because I just wanted to get on here. So I didn't look up anything. But yes, you are correct. You are speaking about something very important. People have been lazy, and that's why the country is in the shape it's in. We must get out and vote red. 1,000%. We have got to get out. I don't care if you think you live in a deep red state. Tennessee is a deep red state. And seats got flipped to blue seats that have been red seats. I don't know what people think, why people even think that socialism's awesome. Oh, because they want free stuff. I get that. Okay. You get free stuff until the taxes run out, and then there's no more free stuff. There's nothing. You're waiting in line for hours and hours and hours for a couple pieces of bread, maybe some eggs, and what else you're eating, I don't know. Again, look up Cuba. Look up North Korea. Look up China. During COVID, China literally locked their people in their homes during COVID. They weren't allowed to come out of their houses. Yes, we had lockdowns here, but we didn't have the police standing outside making sure people didn't leave their houses. In China, the military was outside. They could not leave their homes. In Australia, they did the same thing. They forced people to get the vaccine. They wouldn't let them travel unless they had the vaccine. Yes, there were places here. What places did that here? Blue cities and states locked people down. Red cities, red states did not lock down. I'm going to tell you, I live in Northwest Georgia, and we had no mask mandates and we had no lockdowns. Nothing was closed. Anytime. If businesses were closed, it was because they decided to close because maybe they were afraid of COVID. But I lived my life like COVID never happened when I wasn't at work. At work, it was horrifying because it was busy and we had to count people and we had to wash everything. And that was horrid. Could only let so many people in the store. People were fighting over toilet paper. That was horrifying to live through. But no lockdowns, no mask mandates. I had to wear a mask because I was at work. When I got clocked out, I took my mask off. Every store I went in, I never had to wear a mask because it was a red city in a red state. Now, Atlanta did have some mask mandates and did have some lockdowns, but that's a blue city. So think about that also when you want to vote. When these things happened during COVID, Where did I live? What happened? Did I have family members? Maybe you lived in an area like mine, red, and you didn't have to deal with any of that stuff. But I know there's areas in Tennessee that, again, said is red. They had mask mandates and they had close downs or shutdowns, whatever, because the city's blue. The governor definitely did not mandate anything to close or mask mandates, but the cities did. So again, think of these things. If these people are in charge of the whole country, it's bad enough if they're in charge of your city or your state, which you can control. If they're up for election, do not vote blue. Like, again, this is very confusing too about Tennessee. Okay, so we have Chattanooga, then we have Hamilton County. So there's apparently a mayor of Chattanooga and a mayor of Hamilton County. I don't understand it. Okay, so the mayor of Chattanooga is blue. The mayor of Hamilton County is red. So how that works, I don't know, which I guess kind of helps in a way because they did have lockdowns, they did have mask mandates, but I'm assuming it wasn't everywhere. It wasn't all of Hamilton County because there are other cities in Hamilton County. So again, think of these things. When you're voting. Okay, yes, the Republicans do not do all the things we want them to do, but the Democrats will definitely do all the things we don't want them to do. That's where we are right now. We're picking people that really don't do what we want them to do, but people that will do all the things we don't want them to do. So if we can get a majority in the House and the Senate that are more conservative, they don't necessarily need to be MAGA. That would be great. But if they're at least conservative, instead of these rhinos that are in there, we can get stuff done. The economy can't get better if they block everything we're trying to pass. They literally block everything. So that's why a lot of things are not getting cheaper. A lot of stuff you're not going to help because this is the thing. If you own a business, say I'm a business owner, okay? Now, if you're paying right now $12.50 for a Happy Meal, or not a Happy Meal because that's a kid's meal, a Whopper meal, okay? Which they're not that expensive because we just went there not that long ago. But this is an example. If you're paying $12.50 for a Whopper meal right now, why would I lower the price? I'm making probably 50% profit off of that, if not more. So why in the world would I lower my price when people are paying $12.50 for a Whopper meal? People are paying for it. They're not going to lower the price, which is what I said. Stop going to these places. They'll have to lower the prices if people stop paying the high prices. They won't have a choice. Because you can notice the places that are busier, their prices are higher. The places that are less busy have lower prices. Because people are not paying the high dollar, they have to lower the price so they can get people to come in there. They run specials. Because they realize the prices are high. People are not buying. Gas prices, again, are the oil companies. Today I went by the gas station, $3.19. So people are saying their gas is $5 a gallon, $4 a gallon. Where do you live? Because it's $3.19 where I live. It's not the president, or every state would have the same price gas. Every city would have the same price gas. But they don't, because it doesn't go by that. It depends on your gas tax, and it depends on what they want to price it, honestly. And we know once a month they add an extra tax on. So you'll notice, like, I think it's like the end of the month or close to the end of the month, then you'll see your gas jump up real high. And that's because they add that extra gas tax on the end of the month. And then gas will come back down again. And there's a lot of states that have very high gas tax. And that's why their gas is higher, 60 cents higher. Some places $1 higher. This is why it's important that we know this stuff, not think, oh, it's just because the president, it's because of Iran, it's because... No. That has this much to do with it. Because again, if it was any of those things, the price of gas would be the same the whole country. The other day, I think a barrel of gas was like $77. When Trump came in, it was 110. So there you have it right there. Again, we have a short memory. We forget what it was like for 4 years. We forget. I won't ever forget how bad it was for 4 years. And if people don't start remembering what it was like for 4 years and realize that will be the rest of your life, then we're in big trouble. Because 2021 to 2025 will be your whole life. It will be our lives forever, but probably 10 times worse. Again, look up these countries: China, North Korea, Cuba, those countries, not Sweden, Denmark. Or actually look them up and actually see what kind of economy they have. Because it's a capitalist, just like ours. It's capitalism, just like ours. Not a socialist, communist economy. That's why those countries run the way they do. So that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to get on and just pretty much hopefully make people aware. It's time to wake up, because we have a lot of work to do before it's too late. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and share. I will be on tomorrow, probably pretty early. Maybe like 4:30. Tomorrow it will not be about this stuff. It will probably be more of a devotional kind of, it's Sunday. So it'll be more centered around God, not politics. Not that God is not in politics. I definitely don't agree with that, where other people do. So, anyway, please like and share. And I really hope to see you tomorrow. And I hope you have a blessed and safe night. Thank you. See you tomorrow.